Hi, I'm Jono, and if you're new here, I do pencil drawings. I'm finally back in my studio, which I'm so thrilled about. I've been here for the last 2 months or so actually, but I haven't had my whole setup in the studio yet. So this is one of the first, the first week that I've been properly set up back here. I recently just finished a pencil drawing, Solitude, which I'm really happy with, and I did that in the space. And I thought it would be a good time to do a studio tour type video. I moved into the studio in 2016. I've been here for the last 4 years. And the space has marked such a landmark in my career. Before then, I was working in a studio with Greg. That was a really small old garage that we were working in. And in between that and coming to the space, I was working from home again, which I had been for the majority of my career. And when I worked with Greg in that garage studio, it helped me to realize the importance of separating work and life. I think if you're doing something like art or anything creative that you can work from home, you start to realize that there's this work-life separation which becomes harder to balance. And I definitely was struggling with that over the years, especially as I started taking work more and more seriously. Every time I tried to turn off and just relax, I knew that my drawing table was just upstairs and I could be spending that time drawing. So moving into that studio with Greg was incredible, and then the spin-off, which was justifying to try and move into a space like this, which at the time was completely out of my means. It took quite a lot of convincing myself that I needed to do this and it was worth the investment. And so my hope was that I'd subsidize the extra cost in renting the space by being more productive with my work. And I think it worked out. So here's my studio. That's a long intro to how I got here. The space is 49 square meters, so it's actually quite a lot bigger than what I really need. What I was looking for, my ideal space, would be a space that's big enough to fit my drawing table in, firstly, and then for me to walk around the drawing table entirely. I think when I was working at home, I'd have the drawing table kind of pushed against one wall, so I'd always have to spin the drawing around and shimmy around the table, which wasn't ideal. So the space is big enough for me to walk all the way around my table. I can set up cameras from different angles and film my work really nicely, which I enjoy doing. And the benefit of having a space like this, the primary thing was I wanted space to take photographs. Being able to use more space is essential for just being a bit more creative. You can throw things around, you can throw water around, and just, I was very confined in my room at home, and it just wasn't conducive to the kinds of photo shoots and ideas that I was having for my drawings. So moving into the space was game-changing for me. I set up a infinity sheet, which I have on the side here. Initially, it was set up in front of me over there, and I used these auto poles to try and smash it against the roof and the floor to give it a foundation, and then put infinity sheets with these brackets on them to roll them down. And that's been an amazing help for me to just really take more creative control. A lot of the equipment I have centers around photography to try and facilitate the creative process with taking reference images. Apart from that, I've just accumulated a lot of weird little props and things which I use to draw from and to look at while I'm working. I've got a bunch of random little things around the studio that I've collected over the years that have slowly made their way into some of my drawings. These reindeer antlers I've drawn a couple times. I've really loved working with them. And of course these kudu horns, which I absolutely love. I find them so beautiful, and I think they provide quite a nice metaphor in quite a lot of my drawings. I went through a phase where I was wrapping myself up in bandages and wrapping models up in bandages. So I've got a bunch of bandages here and some beautiful fabrics that have been really nice to kind of throw over figures. So in drawings like Sage and Iris, I've used a lot of these. I needed a wall easel because I push very hard against my drawings, and so if I used any kind of normal standing easel, I would just push it over. So being able to push quite hard and push it against the wall was essential, and then being able to adjust it and have it large enough to hold my drawings was quite a problem to try and solve, but we managed to get that right, and I'm super happy with that. The desk I work with is just a really simple steel frame that I had made. It's reinforced, so it's quite strong, and when I push on it and draw on it, it doesn't shake. That's quite important for me. And I put it on wheels so that I could throw it around the studio if I needed to make space for a photo shoot or anything. try and put as many things as you can on wheels. I also figured out that music stands make really good little tables. You can adjust the height, and if you can adjust the tension, you can put anything on them and kind of slide them over your drawing, or at least over your drawing table without them actually touching the drawing. So they're light, easy, you can move them around, super adjustable, and they've been amazing for me to just store my drawing equipment on while I work. Then moving on to where I store my work. So over the year, I start slotting in the drawings into my storage cabinet, which keeps them safe. And it's also a monstrosity. It's so big. Greg helped me build that as well. He's my go-to guy for trying to build anything to help my studio be more practical or organized. So I'm really happy to have that. That's a really wonderful piece of furniture. I've got my plinth over here, which I really enjoy using for photo shoots or modeling on top of, or putting models on and shooting them there. I thought it was going to be a lot smaller when I ordered it. It was, when it arrived, it was over 250 kilograms, so there was no way that I could pick it up or move it around. And so my brother-in-law offered to make like a steel frame for me and put that on some wheels, and then see, wheels on everything. At first, before I was using nicer lights, I was just using the standard studio lights that came with the space. So to try and diffuse them, I attached these white boards underneath them to try and diffuse that light coming down, which made a massive difference. Having direct harsh light was terrible for video work, and so adding this diffusion was quite a game changer for the studio space. Eventually, I got the nicer lights, and that helped a huge amount as well. And lastly, my editing desk, which I spend a lot of time either editing video or editing artworks and photo shoots and things. And this thing has been a bit of a work in progress over many years. Eventually I upgraded to a standing desk, so it's motorized and I can like lift it up and lower it as I want. There's a lot of stuff on here actually. If you're interested in like tech and that kind of stuff, then you might find this interesting. If not, you might want to skip forwards past this part. But yeah, so I'm working off a MacBook Pro, almost fully spec'd out. I've got a 2 terabyte lacy hard drive because I have a huge amount of video footage that I have to edit and have access to. Then I've got complete overkill for a microphone. In a moment of weakness and just kind of geeking out on audio visual gear, I grabbed a Rode NTG3, and then connected to that, the interface I'm using is a Focusrite 2i2. The screen I'm using is a Thunderbolt display. I got it secondhand for pretty cheap, which I'm really stoked about. Then on the side, I have a Godox softbox lights. It's attached to a super clamp with like a weird makeshift tripod thing attached to a magic arm. And that just helps me angle it and get the lighting that I'm looking for in my videos. And that's my desk setup. Before I end this video, I just want to give a quick shout out to this video sponsor, Squarespace. I've been working with them for a couple of years now. They played a crucial role in my career early on. For any artists or creatives looking to start up their career, having an online portfolio to help clients find you and having a platform to make it easy for them to get in touch with you is crucial. And for me, I felt that Squarespace did that effortlessly. I never had to patch or upgrade anything. I could register a domain with them or set up an online store. And most importantly, I could design a portfolio and show my work the way that I wanted to. Also, every time I got stuck, their amazing support team helped me out instantly. So if you're looking at building a website, give Squarespace a try. And if you decide that you love them, use this offer code and get 10% off your first purchase. So yeah, I hope you guys found this video interesting. If you did, leave a like. It really helps the channel out in a massive way. And let me know in the comments if you have any tricks or weird little problem-solving quirks in your studios. I'm really interested to see the ideas that other artists or creatives have as well. So as always, thanks for the support. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.